Hey, what's up, guys? This is Chris Wood, aka Mantis from Mantis and the Funk. We are about to do a locking nut for a Floyd Rose installation, a retrofit for Floyd Rose on a BC Rich Warlock Rave 2. And if you know anything about these Warlocks, the Rave 2 series, these headstocks are very pointy, very curved, and even with the tuners off, this headstock wants to lean to the left and therefore would distract from a straight surface for us to get this old nut off. So what I have done and what I recommend is wrapping the headstock first of all in a microfiber cloth. So when you clamp it, as we have here, there is no harm at all to the finish. I've also shimmed the headstock when I clamped it so that it doesn't roll. See, it's nice and straight. I put some painter's tape here on the first fret to protect our fingerboard. Now, I've seen some people removing nuts here online on YouTube using things like a straight edge screwdriver. No, do not put a straight edge screwdriver near your fingerboard. There's too much potential for slippage and to damage your frets and the fingerboard here. What I do is I get a little piece of wood, okay, something that's flat, and I can sit along the surface of the nut. I use a rubber mallet. This one I got from the dollar store, okay? It's got a big surface on it, and it's not metal, okay? You set the wood against the nut and just gently tap it. Gently tap the wood, okay? And look at this. Boom. The nut falls right off, okay? Now, depending on how much glue the old nut installation had, and this one had a small amount, you know, not bad. Depending on how much glue you've had, sometimes you may need to heat it up with a blow dryer, I recommend. But again, I recommend taping off your fretboards when you do this, okay? Your fingerboard, tape it off, and you know, you don't need to go crazy with the blow dryer. This glue will warm up, and you can then do exactly what I just did. Set the wood against it and just tap it. Just tap it with a rubber mallet here. You don't need to go crazy with metal objects near your fingerboard. All right, that should always be the case. You don't want steel and sharp objects coming in contact with your fingerboard. Just on principle. Now we're replacing the old nut here with this new locking nut, and what I want people to see is that there is a bit of, actually, now that I have it off there, this is nice and flat and flush, and that's what you want. So we're going to undo our clamp job here, and we don't have to shim this. Now, if there were, as you can see, there is a roll here, alright? We have it flat, and now there's a roll, alright. So, then we do have to shim it a small amount to compensate for this roll, because, now you can see better with my finger out of the way here. Pull this up and let you see what's going on. You want this flat. When it locks down, if there is a gap, which there is a very small, maybe a 1 millimeter gap here, when you lock the clamps, that's going to roll backward. Everything's going to go sharp on your guitar. You can't have an unflat surface on the locking nut. You need it to be flat against the fingerboard. What we're going to do is we're going to make a small shim to go under the top back of this nut, okay? We don't need the shim to go all the way through because the bottom half of the nut is sitting flat. So we just want to match that so that this stays nice and true. And we're going to place these new screws. We're going to angle them a bit toward the fingerboard, because if I made the screw just straight and flat, there's a chance that this will pull back again. You want to angle it towards the fingerboard so that the head of the screw is pushing this nut toward the fingerboard and towards straightness. You understand? Towards being straight. Okay? So we're going to be filming, we already are, and you'll have a compilation of this Warlock retrofitting this Floyd Rose, because I know a lot of people This is one of their biggest requests on YouTube, is for how to do Floyd Rose installations on guitars that are that don't have them. Okay, and so as we go through this process, we're making videos, and there will be a compilation coming. I'm going to call it Warlock or Wall Object. And those who have played the BC Riches and have a Warlock know the difficulty with tuning, and that's why this customer wanted a Floyd Rose put on it. So we're going to show what should be done when you're installing a Floyd Rose. We're going to have to drill posts. We're going to have to use the drill press and things, but we're also going to reinforce the cavities so there are no blowouts when you dive on a new Floyd Rose installation. The post doesn't blow out into the pickup cavity. I've seen it on YouTube, and a lot of things to be warned about. This is another one of my friends said guitars. An old bandmate saw what I've been doing here on Mantis and the Funk, what we've been doing with customizations and installations and things, and contacted me, and the very first thing said, he said, my friend said that he could. This has resulted in him not being able to use this guitar for about 15 years without tuning trouble, because his friend said he could install Floyd Rose, and he totally wrecked it. So we're now trying to undo some of the problems of the past, and we'll show you that as we use some wood filler and some different techniques to reinforce the cavities of the guitar. But this is for the nut installation here. I just want you to see that what you're looking for, you can see the angle of this neck, that as it gets here, oh, there's a sharp decline. So what we need to do is have this surface flat to the width of this new nut. So that we're going to be putting a shim in, and we're going to be putting these screws in. So this video though is about removing the old nuts, and do not put sharp tools and objects on your fingerboard when you do this, okay? Use something, even a small little piece of wood here that's flat on one edge so it's against the fingerboard and the nut, and that you're not engaging the fingerboard at all. You're just using this item to get it out, alright? So that's how to properly remove an old nut from a fingerboard. Make sure you tape, make sure you protect, and make sure you don't put sharp objects near the finish of your guitar or the wood of your fingerboard, okay? For Mantis and the Funk, this is Chris Wood saying be safe to your guitar, be good to your guitar, and it will be good to you. Alright.